What do I want for 6th edition? It's a question that literally everybody's answering in the D&D realm because if you put 6e in the thumbnail, then it gets a ton of views. It's just how it works. Speaking of those thumbnails, let's take a look. D&D 6th edition from Dungeon Coach. D&D 6e from Dungeon Craft. 6th edition D&D is already here from Dungeon Class. All these people are cashing in on the 6e thing, and I'm cashing in too. But I really want to talk about what exactly everybody wants out of 6e because quite frankly so many people are putting out so many different things and I know that it's not going to live up to the expectations. There's just no way, right? There's just too many expectations out there. There might be too many things going on for it and maybe 6e doesn't live up to everyone's expectations. But I'm hoping that it tries to get more people in and tries to address some of the issues. Speaking of, let's talk about that, right? First off, I think that one thing that D&D 6e desperately needs is a basic, a normal, and an expert mode of play. The basic mode of play is for people that are brand spanking new to tabletop role-playing games and kids and people that just don't want to do hardcore math. In the basic style play, it's either extremely easy to generate characters or it is just a whole bunch of pre-gens. And we're dealing with basic numbers. We're dealing with +1s, +2s, +3s at most. We don't want to boggle the things down. I think in particular, the thing I want to address with the basic mode of play is spellcasting. Because if you're a 4th level caster, that means you've got 2nd level spells. These numbers are ridiculous to new people. They just don't get it. At the same time, stats. Stats is another huge thing. If you've got a 17, that means you've got a +3. Why? It makes no sense. No, people just don't get it. It still doesn't make sense, right? So the basic mode of play simplifies all of these aspects of the game and gets us playing the game early. We get easy dice, we get easy math, and you just roll dice, you have fun, boom, easy peasy. Then we have the normal style play, which is the traditional style play. We just have, the classic character creation, we've got the classic adventures, and boom, there you go. And then the expert mode of play, that is when we have all of the optional things. That's when we dive into extra character options. That's when we dive into, there's complicated variations on the moves that you've been doing before. Like in the vanilla mode, there's just the one type of grapple. But in the expert mode, there's a whole bunch of different types of grapple. Things like that. Allow for there to be the people that need a basic style play, the people that just want a normal style play, and the people that want a hardcore style play. Because if you do 3 different styles of play, that's going to hit a lot more people, it's going to be able to grab people, and you can work your way up. You start off with the basic, and then maybe you move on to the normal and then the expert modes. Easy peasy. Secondly, domain play, the return of domain play. Because in the early days, you would work to be a owner of land, and you'd have a whole bunch of people under you, and it'd be totally awesome. But then slowly we transitioned from being awesome adventurers to being epic heroes. And for some reason, the transition to epic hero meant that you had less people underneath you. And there is just a complete lack of controlling a domain and having a whole bunch of hirelings, henchmen, and retainers at your side. All of that went away for some reason. Bring that back. Bring back the goal of, if I am a nobody, I want to become somebody, and as a somebody, I'm going to control this plot of land, and that can lead to future adventures because, alright, you retire after you get your keep. Maybe the next time you play up an adventure, you're playing as that person's apprentice, or their ward, or the kingdom's under attack, and now you are the only ones that can stop it. The domain play just allows for so much creativity and fun, and is a way to show off all of the hard work you've achieved to actually accumulate in a physical space. 3, I want to see group actions. When it comes to 5th edition characters, we get a bunch of actions that say your character does this, your character does that, you hit the opponent this way. There is a lot of me's, I's, but what I want to say is we, us. I want there to be much more emphasis on group actions, whether that be you're helping out the homies are helping you, whatever it is. I want there to be more actions that are tied to helping out the team, making this a team-based game as it should be, instead of a more competitive one that's sort of transformed into. Because right now I feel like 5e has a lot of DPS racing and a lot of versatility showcasing offing. I see a lot of it is I's and me's. I want the us. I want the we's. Give us group actions that bring the team up as a whole, not just a 4-person race straight to the top. 4 major and minor level ups. In 5e, every single level up is insanely powerful. Every single one gives you something huge, whether that be new spell levels, new features, whatever. Every single level up is insane. And for a good majority of characters, there is a clear night and day for when you level up. And what that means is you're encouraged to never have mixed match levels. What I want is, I want there to be the style of play, of course, whether that be expert or normal or whatever, where you have the major level ups where that's fine. You have those single awesome level ups that give you something cool. But at the same time, I want minor level ups. Because with minor level ups, you can continue to level up, but at the same time, your power level isn't scaling as much. You can have a clear progression in a campaign where you are constantly leveling up, but at the same time, every single time that you level up, it's not as impactful, which is a good thing, because if you're running a game where you want everyone to level up like every session, every other session, then having it in the traditional major way, your characters are going to scale ridiculously. And if that's the game that you want, that's fine. But if you want a game where everyone levels up but it doesn't scale as much, then I think minor levels are the way to go. In 5th here, make exploration and roleplay better. In 5e, 85% of the rules and spells and actions and features all deal with combat. The overwhelming majority of things in 5e are all about the combat. It is a combat-based game. But D&D should be more. It should be a roleplay game. It should be an exploration game. It should be a combat game as well. It should be these things all combined into one. There needs to be more emphasis on the exploration. There needs to be more emphasis on the roleplay. Don't have features that completely wipe away portions of the exploration. Don't have features that completely wipe away the roleplay. Add features that add to it. Don't take away from it. Those are my 5 things on what I want to see from 6e, which I certainly think is doable. I certainly think that we could have the basic, normal, and expert modes. I don't know if they'd all be in one book. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be in the DMG or whatever. But I'd like that to be there because, once again, getting new people into D&D, I would never play an actual game of 5e because there's just way too many numbers, way too many things, way too many features, way too many things to overload someone who's never played a tabletop role-playing game before. Make it basic. Make it simple. 2, the domain play, just awesome fun times. The group actions help out the team. The major minor level ups to have that different style of play and make exploration and roleplay better. I want these things so badly, and I certainly think that they are doable. So go ahead and tell me, what do you want to see from 6e? Is there any content creators that you totally agree with out there, or do you think none of them are hitting the mark? Do you want to see more individualistic style play in D&D, or do you want to see it more a group-based game? And also I'm curious about is, do you see D&D as more of a war game than you do as an exploration and roleplay based game? I'm genuinely curious. Go ahead and tell me those things because I would love to hear it, but that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching, thanks for listening, and thank you to my amazing patrons. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.